start handling fat, that skin, that fat will push up to your fingers. So keep your hand closed, solid hand, and gently press, get an estimation of fat. So we'll do the same thing on cattle. We don't handle hogs, but on steers, we can handle fat. We're going to steers today, but you can handle fat much the same way, in the same location on steers. You have steers for conflicts. So muscle and fat kind of become the number one priority. You're starting to feel a lot of times it's compositionally correct. And so are they compositionally correct? Is they have the right or a correct balance of muscle and fat? All right. So what's number two priority in park animals? Muscle and fat are kind of one. What's number two? Volume. So I say volume. Our structure. We'll get structure in a minute. So volume is the second priority. So we're not looking at volume. What part of the body? Now the rib cage. So they'll look at volume here or look at volume here. What do you think? A or B? You got to vote for A. Did y'all agree with that? Should. So you look for volume here, the rib cage. Again, you want it to be wide, side to side, deep from the top of their spine, down to their belly, and then again, length. So why go out and look at true body volume here? What's back here? Intestines, right? What goes in the intestines? Feed, water, feces. Talking about a female that is pregnant, a fetus. And so we can fool you by putting water here and make them look bigger body than they are. So always read true width, true volume in their rib cage. So their forehead, back at their center rib, where their 12th rib is. On their last rib back, their flank, that's guts. I can put a lot of hay in an animal, a lot of water in an animal, make them fill up, make them look bigger body than they actually are. So along with that, if they're wide with the ground,
good morning.
And they're wide here, they
Good,
should be
how about
wide there, have enough room to do a feeding. So
I'm just kind of listening to a clinic. What's up?
That feed to gain weight, right? So we've got a couple of really shallow rib and air destructive.
Okay, great. Thanks for calling. Whenever they get done with this clinic, I'll give you a buzz back. How was the morning? Should we go back to sleep, okay?
If they're really thin, they're really hard rib, shallow rib,
Yeah.
good eating enough to take care of themselves.
Thanks so much, baby.
So this guy here has got some body width.
Yeah, love you too.
Dimension through his forehead. Consequently, has enough room back in the intestines to feed and gain. So look for rib shape, dimension, forehead. That kind of in there. The center rib, back to their last rib. Right? So forehead, back to their center rib as well. Or you can say all together, talk about their rib shape as a whole. Or you can break it down, forehead, center rib, that kind of thing. And along with that, Sarah's just talking about backwards. So along with that width and depth, also look at outward curve and shape of the rib. So those really big body, wide face animals that have a lot of body volume, they'll start being bold and have a curve of rib out of the top of their spine up here. So those flat animals are very flat up here. We've got some animals we'll show you here in the class in a minute where they're very flat, they're very narrow, and they're very flat at the top. There's not a lot of boldness of rib or spring of rib. This guy's got some boldness of rib, some spring of rib that actually starts coming out of the spine really quickly. All right? And so along with that muscle, you guys see now got to turn around the leg as well, that width, that dimension he has, and how wide-faced he is, along with being wide-ribed as well. So a lot of times, those wide-made animals are also wide at the ground. If you see an animal that's really wide-topped and narrow-based, a lot of times they're fat. All right? A lot of them are counterfeit animals. Not always, but there are exceptions to the rules. All right? So the third priority, someone said, was structure. Let's take it this side. So structure. Alright, so structure is the third priority in park animals. And the reason it's so important, park animals have to be able to walk deep. You gotta walk across the feedlot to get to the feed pump, the water trough to be effective, to be efficient. So they're not sound structured in park animal. They're gonna lay down all the time, they're not gonna get up and eat, they're not gonna be very productive or very valuable as a feedlot animal. And so we look for structure in two main areas. We're gonna kind of dictate how everything else goes typically. So first thing we're going to look at is shoulder angle. So We want about a 45-degree angle to the shoulder. The top of the shoulder here, down to the point of the shoulder. Don't be perfect. Those of you are in high school and geometry on the road, gotta get my protractor out. That'll be perfect. It's kind of a general 45-degree angle. And so in most animals, listed in sheep and cattle, if they have a 45-degree angle, that also allows that head and neck to sit up high on top of the shoulder. So we're going to come to how they look here, so you can tracking standpoint. And so if they got a good shoulder angle, allows that head and neck to sit up high on the shoulder and kind of be quote unquote pretty. What we're talking about in the shoulder, for example. If we have a 45-degree angle in the shoulder, we should have a slight backward curve of the knee and about a 30-degree angle of the passenger. So I don't know if it'll let me paint on his feet with this or that glass. They're kind of capable of painting feet. But look at where their dew claws are, the top of their hook, the front part of their hook. You want about a 30-degree angle. Again, not exact, but it's kind of general. Along with the shoulder angle, we also want a slight angle out of their hip. And so hip bone is there, pin bone back here. We want a slight angle. And so in the show world, we say, well, those hips are pretty level, right? So that's cool. Same point, we still have to have a productive, from an internal standpoint, lay down and lamb or calf or farrow. If you have them too level, those breeding animals have a hard time keeping those babies out. So we can accomplish both by finding a middle ground and getting them to level enough to be kind of neat or pretty hip, and still have some functionality. The problem is we pull this hip up too level, same thing we do on the front end. We pull this hip up too far, we straighten out the hock, and we straighten out the passenger. If I put that hip angle too far down, I make that hock angle really sharp and severe, and they start walking their back feet underneath themselves. Those animals that walk their back feet underneath themselves and tuck their tail, kind of move funny. So we drop that pin bone too far, that foot and that hock is pushing underneath their body, and they can't walk very comfortably either. So we want a slight angle, that hip bone, that allows us to have a slight angle, easy buddy, and their hock. And then along with that, we get about a 35-degree angle on that passenger. Alright? And so the final priority in market animals is attractiveness, how they look. And so if they're built, structurally correct, got the right angles, typically they're also fairly attractive. Again, there's all exceptions to the rules, but they got a good shoulder angle, that head and neck is on top of the shoulder, up high and neat. That causes the sheep, the chest floor, to be tucked up, neat and pretty. And same thing out of the hip. This guy's a little steep in his head, but if they're level out of their hip, that tail sits up a little higher, they're flatter hip, level hip, they're more attractive, better balanced, more eye opinion, okay? So, market animals, priorities, muscle fat, number one is composition, second is body volume, third is structure, and fourth is attractiveness. Alright? So now, this is a breeding animal, we switch it all around a little bit. This is a breeding unit, we change their priorities, we look at the same exact places for everything on the breeding animal, it's going to change their priority list. Structure becomes number one. Animal has to be able to get around for years and years and years, hopefully in a production setting, it's going to be very sound. So structure becomes the number one priority for breeding animals. Second, still volume. You have to have enough rib shape, body dimension to eat, take care of themselves, as well as their breeding female have room to eat and gestate a fetus. So they have enough room back in their gut to be able to have room for the fetus to grow as well. Third priority becomes muscle. Muscle is still important. It's going to transmit from a parent down to the offspring. So they have light muscle animals, make a lot of muscle progeny typically. So we have to have some muscle mass in our breeding animals in order to make heavy muscle offspring. And then our fourth priority still is how they look, how pretty they are, how attractive they are. And again, that still goes hand in hand with their sound. They're typically fairly attractive, all right? So, change the priority list around. We have to judge the breeding ewes, or rams, or market animals. Any questions about judging market sheep or breeding sheep criteria? Those priorities we talked about, same priorities for hogs, same for cattle. Change them around to do breeding cattle, market steers, market hogs, or breeding hogs. Any questions? Who wants to try judging class of ewes? Nobody? I thought that's great. You got excited. All right. We're going to switch gears. We'll put market land, and we're going to bring in the U class. Guys, they're going to bring U class over. Hey guys, bring your time later.